Real cowboys customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, Tex, can someone else get a turn?
Yo, what's up everybody and welcome back to CT Time. My name is Aziza Red and as you may know, this is my wonderful producer, Mr. McCall, and we are back for part 2 of Am I the Bad Guy? What makes one a villain? So, we were actually here talking about the same exact topic Monday before the last and we got caught off. We got really deep into it. Can we just touch on a few of the topics that we talked about last time before we move on? I know we started off by talking about the Joker.
We did.
What are just some main highlights of the Joker? What made him a villain?
It depends. From the comics, at least, you know, he was always just trying to make people laugh.
Yeah.
He was a horrible comedian. That's why, like, in certain comic books, there's like 3 different Jokers. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he was trying to be a successful comedian, failed horribly. So,
and that's a similar correlation to the newest Joker movie where he's a comedian too. That guy, he was a comedian too. I didn't laugh not once in that movie. But
did you even laugh when Joker even did a crime? Because every single one of his crimes has a punchline. Like, did you think any of his crimes was funny?
What were the punchlines? It might have went over my head.
So the Joker made a plan how to kill Batman because, you know, the Batman never smiles. The Batman always like does this face.
I bet that really ticks him off.
Yeah, so imagine that Joker actually set up a plan where the Batman has to die being eaten by sharks upside down. Oh. That way, so if he's frowning upside down, he's smiling.
Oh.
I like yeah. Right. But if you have to explain the joke, it's not funny. And that's why, you know, the Joker's not funny.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it now. I need to hear one more.
Okay. So what was another joke that he did? Okay. This one is actually a sick joke. It's a really dark joke. This is from The Killing Joke. Mm-hmm. And he's explaining that, you know, it only takes one day, like one bad day to make everybody go ballistic or anybody go ballistic. So what he does is he does this super cooped up months plan, you know, joke where he shoots Barbara right in the pelvis, makes her paralyzed, strips her completely naked, takes a bunch of pictures of her, posts it on the internet, and shows it to her dad, hoping that her dad will turn into like a rogue cop and just start killing him or, you know, somebody close to him.
I don't see the correlation to him going postal and seeing his daughter's nudes, but
he wanted to prove that, like, it only takes a bad day for the commissioner. That would have been a really bad day, seeing your daughter like completely naked, bloody. Yeah, just naked on like TV and everything. That would have been horrible.
Another set of villains that we touched on would be Charles Xavier, as in the X-Men series, and Professor X, right?
Magneto with Professor X.
Charles Xavier is Professor X. Okay, so Magneto and Professor X versus. And something that I did not know is that they were based on Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. 2 men with the same plan and different ways to get there. So we really talked deep about that and the correlation of them being depicted as white men during the civil rights movement so that more people could actually read the comic. Another reason why those comic books were deemed bad books and banned from and pulled from convenience stores back in the day.
There was a lot of reasons. Like the X-Men came out during the civil rights movement. So
Mystique is technically naked. But okay.
That's the movie one. She's wearing a nice little loin dress. It's a really pretty white dress, and she has like skulls around as a necklace. It's really cute.
I've seen that outfit.
Yeah, I like that dress. But so what makes Magneto a villain is even though Magneto and Xavier have similar goals, we'll say parallel. They want the mutant race to rise, but Magneto wants the mutant race to rise above the human race, while Xavier just wants equality. And because they can't agree, their argument just turns into like a huge internal and external civil war. Like to the point where, people are getting killed over like a spat between brothers. Well,
literally.
Friend brothers.
And what we ended up wrapping up on was Nat Turner. And first I had to explain to people the story of Nat Turner. I am not going to act like I am the thesaurus, but I am going to go ahead and admit that upon hearing his name, Nat Turner, for this series in the list of villains, it didn't really correlate with me. Who did I think Nat Turner was?
You thought he was like one of the book writers, I think.
No. Oh yeah. I thought Nat Turner was the dude that had wrote like How to Keep a Negro. Like, you know those books that's like, this is how you enslave the black community for all the generations. When the dude that wrote that book, he should be on this list. But
it'd have been too easy.
His name sounds like the guy that wrote that book.
It would have been too easy. I could have just said the Roman Empire.
For those of you who don't know, I'll let you go, Ray.
Yeah, so Nat Turner, life story for Nat Turner. I know a lot of people are just going to hate me for this. Like, reasons why I put him down as a villain. His life story alone, he was a slave, yes, but he also ran away and came back. This is his autobiography that he explained. Eventually, we get an over-explanation.
He felt chosen by God. He felt not necessarily above the other slaves, but he just felt like he was granted more privileges because God deemed him special. And that's how even white overseers would treat him, to the point where he was teaching white people, black people, Sunday school. He had apparently 2 or 3 visions within his whole lifetime. And he could like remember things from before he was born.
Sometimes after.
And this is what deemed him a prophet. But how could someone deemed a prophet end up on the villain list?
Because eventually he was like, I got a vision and a message from God saying the yoke of slavery is over. I would like to see that yoke of slavery be over as well, The yoke of slavery. That's what he called it. The yoke of slavery is over. So what he did was he gathered as many of his trusted allies as he could.
Well, first they were planning on revolting on the 4th of July, but he got a stomach ache and he was like, you know what, this is a sign. So they waited a few weeks.
They waited until another eclipse happened. And then that next eclipse happened when the sky turned like dark blue. He was like, yep, this is it. This weekend we're going out and we're about to kill our slave masters, which they did. And their baby at that. Then they went to the next house, did the same thing.
Saying, and their baby at that master baby, that baby that's gonna go up and beat them up and whip them, that racist baby.
What are you gonna know? He's a baby.
It's a racist baby.
How can a baby rape? Baby don't. Whatever. He killed his masters and the master's baby. Went to the next house, did the same thing, including a few of his own people. She's like, whatever.
That's my mood this whole time. What's that emoji? That's my mood.
Next house, same thing. Killed the masters and his own people. Just kept on going until eventually he reaches a town where, for some reason, there's like 2,000 militiamen there, all fully armed up, just ready to kill. And it just so happens there's about 76 black people just ready to be killed. And Nat Turner is one of them.
These black people are with Nat.
Yeah, these black people with Nat.
Yeah.
Like they all come together in the town. They're getting ready to kill the whole town of white people, but you know they can't
There are
because
only like 76 of them, and they
Yeah.
don't have nice guns or armor or know the
they didn't even have guns at all.
the geography of that said town. But why did this land him on the villain list? Just because he killed one white racist baby?
No, because his whole action set a precedent for not letting slaves learn how to read, write, not letting the slave even show any signs of intellect. Then it just led to systematic racism later on in time, like after freeing the slaves, because a little bit right after Nat Turner was executed, like head chopped off and body nowhere to be found, you know, yeah, the Civil War started. He even helped probably.
This conversation is really making me mad. The fact that this hero is on the villain list, and these are your reasons.
Remember when we looked up the definition of villain?
How long were we
be...
enslaved before this one man tried to save 76 of his homies?
You could say about 100 and some years.
And you're blaming one person that was just fed up.
He wasn't even fed up though, because he came back.
So because he didn't just save himself and he came back and tried to save his friend.
He didn't come back to save his friends.
But even Dr. Martin Luther King would talk about this sometimes. The sacrifice of the few saving the many. Yeah, we outside getting bit up by dogs, getting sprayed down by water hoses and all that. But guess what? Those chilling images made the news. Those chilling moments live for centuries and years and years and years. So him doing that one thing set off a chain of events that let people know that we're not just home appliances. We're smart. We can read. We can think. We'll kill your baby.
I like how she said the word sacrifice though. If y'all don't understand, like y'all gotta come back to season 1. Like that was our first official episode. Sacrifice, murder, and slaughter. What's the difference? You know,
I'm a really blunt person. Y'all see me share my unpopular views all the time, my unpopular opinions, all that one stuff. But maybe that shouldn't be too unpopular. 100 years or more of slavery. You run away. You still hear the cries from over the river. You go back to save your homies, or at least make a statement. You know. Shake a town, shake a nation. That's what they did.
He shook a nation with 76 black people. I'm not saying what he did wasn't impressive though.
He did kill other black people too.
Yeah, he did.
I thought he was gonna stress on that, but he did not even.
I did stress on that.
Bringing up the enemy.
I said he killed his own people several times. He went through his own people to kill the slave masters.
We all know what Uncle Ruckus is. And he ain't no better than a coon.
I ain't saying that terms. I'm saying like basically, if he was a hero, he would have won. Or matter of fact, I will say if he was a hero, his whole idea.
To say that on his last breath, he didn't feel as if he won.
He did.
Okay, because he didn't abolish slavery overnight.
It's not because of that.
Because his 76 people didn't survive. That mean he didn't win.
Not only 76 people, but like almost 200 more people after that, simply because of his actions.
So he's a villain because he did something that made bad people do more bad things.
He's a villain because he's to blame for a lot of like chain reactions happening.
What you're saying right now is what's wrong with the court systems today. You got me riled up. And I'm on my Trayvon Martin right now. Y'all got me messed up.
Okay, you guys. So last episode we looked up what is a villain. According to Webster and Google, a villain can be considered a fall guy. Basically, somebody being blamed for bad actions or bad things happening. You know, everybody likes to say the devil made me do it and all that. Why the devil always in your house? You know, devil's probably just sitting wherever he's at. Like, I've been here the whole time. Why you put my name out?
Hey, I was just talking about this it's slightly unrelated, but who's controlling the simulation? Who woke up like, this bitch gonna stub her toe today? Like, who is the petty motherfucker that spilt butter on my pants? You know what? We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there because they planned this weeks ahead with the simulation.
But still,
Moving on to the next person.
saying.
Let's talk about someone that's on the original list, Bill Gates. This is something that many people do not know. I think we talked about this. We touched on it a little bit with the last show. Can you just speed through it? Because I know it's a lot about everything, all the atrocities that Bill Gates has committed. Please do not take down this broadcast for talking about the owner of the internet.
Owner of the internet ain't Bill Gates.
Bill Gates owns everything.
No, he don't. He just owns Microsoft. The internet is like programmed from Norway. If you actually want to sue the internet, you gotta sue Norway. That's, partial the main owners of the internet.
What their last name over there?
It's a whole group of people. I had to sue the internet once just to get my website up. Went to Norway. Yeah, but no, Bill Gates he used to own Microsoft. He actually sold most of his shares from
Why
Microsoft.
he stepped down?
There could be a lot of reasons. He did sell the Microsoft to what is it? NSA, National Security Agency. Everybody thinks that the FBI is spying on your phone, but that's not it. It's NSA. They're the ones tapping into your phone calls and all that when you're saying code phrases and all that. Just because I say bomb, it doesn't mean the NSA is listening to us right now. Like, he said bomb. It's like, it has to be like a whole sequence together.
Bomb, dynamite, ocean, Segway, Norway.
At the end of the day, like this video is being recorded.
Yes, we are in the algorithm now. That's what Jada said to Will.
That alone, oh my gosh. If y'all just hear some of these actual stories that are coming out of Jada's mouth, man, sometimes I'm just like, wow.
I hope Tupac come back.
You think he's in Cuba?
No, I hope Tupac come back and like break up with her. Like, is that sad? Like, I just want Tupac to come back and be like, shorty, you doing too much. I want Bernice. Yeah. I want Jada Waiter. That's what I want Tupac to come back and
I want
say.
Lil' Kim with all her plastic surgery.
Period. Like, somebody. No, Lil' Kim happy and healthy. But that's somebody else who's not the villain.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, so Bill Gates sold...
Faith Evans is the villain.
Bill Gates sold Microsoft to NSA. Bill Gates also helped fund the COVID research before that was even a thing, and then helped fund the next COVID
first
research.
off the list, because he's speaking in nerd, Bill Gates sold the internet, Microsoft, to the people that are spying on your phone. They sold the whole internet to information intelligence agencies, and he funded COVID-19, had a seminar about it, released it 5 years later. What else?
He also was a very
And COVID-19
boss.
is also connected to that Pizzagate stuff.
Probably.
Google #Pizzagate. Matter of fact, go to Twitter, #Pizzagate,
Go to Instagram.
#Comic Pizza. #Oprah.
For record, Microsoft is an operating system for computers. If you have a Windows computer, you have Microsoft. If you have an Xbox, you have Microsoft. Reasons why nobody wanted the Xbox One is because the Xbox One, when it first came out, you had to always have the Kinect connected to it, and the Kinect was always on.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's that up there?
Yeah, that camera right up there.
That's the Kinect?
Yeah, that's the Kinect. It's not connected to my Xbox, so it's connected to my computer, so it's not always on, quote unquote. But, so imagine like you're on your Xbox, and you're just chilling. Or you're not on your Xbox, but your Xbox is in the living room, and your living room just has a nice panoramic view of what you would like to do, and you do the do, whatever the do is. Or not, we're not going to talk like that. They're watching you, and they're supposed to be giving you advertisements on all the do that you've been doing. So imagine like you're just having horrible... Yeah, I know. I need to stop being perverted. But you're having horrible sex, and they're like, new sex positions.
No. My face is because I'm thinking like, what code words did I say for the camera to come on? Did I say, oh shit, and then the camera came on? Did I say like, damn F word, bleepity bleep bleep? Is what I should be saying on the podcast. But yeah, like you're saying that it pops on due to code words. So like that's
always on.
That's what I had a problem with Alexa. Cause like the bitch is listening 24/7 until you just say her name. So she's just sitting around listening to your whole conversation, listening to this, listening to that. They know when you come in the house. They know when you leave the house. And then you go, hey, Alexa. She's like, oh, yeah, play some music? Sure. I don't like that.
Yeah, like these new smart systems, smart homes, all that. The Xbox One was like the first game system that actually could be considered a smart system.
Do you believe in the Black Mirror stuff? If those of you aren't aware, there's a Netflix series called Black Mirror. And it's basically about what these things, technology, would basically bring us in the future. And when they say Black Mirror, they're referring to when your phone screen is off, it's a black mirror, looking back at you. So that's kind of deep already. You guys should really check it out. In one of the series, they're talking about smart homes. So something like COVID happened and everybody's smart homes locked them inside and said that it wasn't safe for them to come outside. So people hadn't been outside for years. They were committing suicide. They were doing all types of stuff. So I guess the disease went away, and there was so many people with Stockholm syndrome or whatever, like just stuck in the house and not wanting to leave, to the point where like their homes decided for them that they weren't capable of making decisions anymore, and they just left them in there forever to die.
It sounds like Space Odyssey and like that one movie on Disney Smart House. Like it doesn't really sound original.
I remember that movie. Yeah. Black Mirror isn't all about that, but every single episode is like a different scenario. About
I only saw one episode, and it was when they were playing the video game.
Of course, he saw that one.
I like video games.
Oh my gosh!
I like video games.
I bet you've been there, huh?
I would like to be there somewhat.
Little nasty. Y'all go see that.
Look, I was watching Sword Art Online before that episode came out. Okay, so.
Moving on, we are going to talk about another villain who just recently got an origin movie, who I was super, super, super excited about, only to be confused, disappointed, left out like a wet cold blanket. This villain that I am talking about is Cruella de Vil. Okay, so we know Cruella de Vil originally to be someone who just like loves furs. She's a fashionista. She's skinny. She's like always puffing her cig. So back in the day, that just meant like, elite, like, like the baddest bitch, I'm smoking everywhere. Like that was Cruella, And the origin story just left me feeling confused, because isn't Cruella supposed to already like be a rich boss lady? I feel like the story of Cruella, like they started her off as a little girl and her mom gets killed because she was being bad at school, and her mom go and ask somebody for a loan, and then the lady gets her mom kicked off of a cliff and snatches her mom a necklace, and then she does a life of crime. So she started off poor. That's already messed up from the original Cruella that we're thinking about. She's a rich lady,
right,
who has enough money to buy these puppies if you take the money, but you won't. So she just wants everything she can get. Now the Cruella in her origin story is just a fraud, a scammer, a poor orphan with a dead mom with a stolen necklace. And they didn't ever really climax to the point of like her becoming a boss. So like, is there going to be like a sequel to the origin mess that they released this summer?
I mean, since they made 2 Maleficent movies, they might make 2 Cruella movies, as long as the funding's good. And
I haven't actually seen Maleficent personally, but he did, after I explained to him Cruella, which he did not see either.
I didn't get the chance to. Everybody was talking about it.
Kind of similar as far as the level of disappointment. So could you explain to me what happened in Maleficent, which left you feeling like a wet blanket?
Well, I mean, I was disappointed. Like, I understand that we are trying to today find reasonings with villains.
Why is that? Like, why are we trying to Batman everybody?
I don't even think we're trying to Batman them. I think we're trying to Magneto them. Like, because at least Magneto, you can understand like what his end goal is, and you're just like, oh, okay, I feel sorry for you, but I have to stop you. And they're trying to do that for all these villains now.
Why?
I have no clue.
Why?
Like watching did you watch the Spider-Man movie Into the Spider-Verse?
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch that? Like there's
with all the different villains, and they all came back. So when they go back to their old universe, do they just die on good terms in their heart? So did they just do that so they can correct it with God and then go back and then they have an angry Spider-Man? You're like, bro, I just went to the future and I'm sorry now. No, you're not. I'm gonna kill you. They did like what?
that was No Way
The other
Home though.
Spider-Man. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm talking about Spider-Verse with
No
the
Way
Black
Home.
Spider-Man, like where Spider-Man is a
That's a
black little
cartoon.
kid. Yep, it's a cartoon. You ain't see
I
it.
think I did. But
There was a character on there. His name's Wilson Fisk. He's a gangster. He's kind of like Trump in their universe, but Trump can fight and he's really strong. Basically, Wilson Fisk accidentally killed his wife and his child trying to fight Spider-Man. And they found out like, oh my gosh, Fisk is a bad guy. Let's run away. And they get killed. So he creates a multiverse generator thing so he can get like the same version of his wife and child in another universe, kidnap them, and act like nothing happened. And, you know, if you ever been in like some nerd vlogs, nerd chat rooms and all that, there's a bunch of nerds that will just say, he did nothing wrong. There's an infinite universe, you know, such and such and such. Why does that matter? It matters because the Wilson Fisk in that universe might be a good Wilson Fisk, and you just kidnapped this kid and his wife. Now he's going to become the next villain. Now you're just creating a huge butterfly effect, Mandela effect, domino effect all at the same time. All because what? You upset that you got your own people killed. Now you trying to turn other people into bad people? Come on.
But think of the viewpoint of the Wilson Fisk whose children just got stolen from him. Do you all remember that that movie that was like really big back in the day, and it was like called Red Eye? And the lady, she got on the plane with her daughter, and then she went to sleep and she woke up and her daughter was gone, and everybody was just like, "Ma'am, you got on the plane alone." Like what? I would just be
The super got Mandela effect and all that.
like, bro, I went to sleep. Spider-Man stole my baby, took him to a new universe, and no one remembers the baby. This is her jacket. Like she was just so serious. Like,
Now we got sidetracked
felt
from
that.
Maleficent though.
yeah.
What I didn't like about Maleficent is the fact that they're like she's a fairy. What fairy you know is 6 feet tall? What fairy you know got eagle wings?
There was a fairy. The fairy from Cinderella with Brandy.
Fairy godmother?
Fairy godmother.
She had pixie wings still. And she showed up looking like a witch.
I'm sorry. He knows fairy anatomy.
I'm just saying when you see
And who's
a
to say
fairy.
that the bloodlines got kept good? What if a fairy did it to a witch and they had a fairy pixie witch evil daughter?
Now we're going into all types of weird sciences in a fantasy novel.
You said weird scientist. It's a fantasy novel.
But you're trying to do all this weird science, a
No,
witch.
you trying to pour
and
her
a
lineage.
fairy.
She's a mixed.
So she deserved to be. Well, she had horns too.
Yeah.
What fairy
She's
got
a
horns?
Malinoran fairy.
Minotaur, fairy, 6 foot
But
witch
I like
person.
Maleficent just because, like, I don't know.
No, she
the
was cool.
moms
She was a
in all
great
the
villain.
Cinderella movies, I always commend them, like, just a little bit.
Maleficent was a cool
On
villain.
the
She was
anti-villain
like
side.
when you watched her in the cartoon Sleeping Beauty, when she showed up, everybody like froze. Like, bro, don't say nothing. Do not do nothing. Do not even look at her funny. Like, that was Maleficent. When she showed up, the world stopped. So, like, you know, one dude actually stood up to her, and she's like, "You can't stop me. I'm the freaking devil." You know, that was like, yup, that's a villain right there. Like, she turns into a dragon at the end. But, you know, the new Maleficent, she's just like, "I'm in love with Princess Rose, the Sleeping Beauty. I love her so much that, like, I'm going to take care of her. Until for some reason, like, her family does not like me, so I'm going to curse her. And then I'm going to be upset about the fact that I cursed her." Like, what? What?
Like, right.
Like, you was the
I hate a
actual
villain
devil.
that feels bad. Like,
She was the devil. Cruella de Vil was the devil. And they were both villains I like because they were just straight to the point evil. They weren't like, you know, this extra, oh, woe is me. No, they was just like, I do what I want because I can, because I'm that powerful, because I got the money. Like, because when I show up, you better sit still. You better, you know, look the right way.
Bringing this back to a hero, a once hero that we had touched on last episode in part 1. I was talking about the show Invincible. The dad.
Oh, that. Okay.
He was saving the earth. Really, he was just killing time. And then one day he just stopped caring.
It's not he stopped caring.
Well, he cared about his son in the first place, you know. He just stopped caring about saving the earth that was just going to be dead within a blink of his eye, you know. Would you call him a villain?
You gotta watch season. I can't wait till season 2 drops. I was reading the comics. He has a reason, and they said it on the last episode. He has a reason why he did what he did. He had to stop the Justice League of that show, because if there was anybody just as powerful as him that could stop him, you know, from ruling the world, then that means it would take a lot longer for his tribe to come to Earth and take over. So he had to take out the champions of the Earth. And that also included his son if needed be, because, you know, Viltrumites can live for like over 1,000 years, like it's nothing. So 18 years for him felt like a minute. And the fact that he had to slow down for a minute probably exhausted him. As you can see him acting like a child in certain scenes of that show. He's like, why are you flying like this? Why are you doing human things? You are invincible now. Why are you losing to basic people? You are a Viltrumite now. I thought that we could rule the world together, but I guess not. I can just kill you and go away. Just make another baby. It doesn't matter to me.
But we don't know the timeline of his life, you know? So what is an ant to a giant?
That's what it felt like.
Do you necessarily feel bad about like killing ants in your house? Those dudes are on missions. You don't know how far he walked to get to your house. Like, so it's like
that's what he felt like. All the humans were ants. He even treated them like ants. You know, if y'all watched Invincible, there was like a lot of violent death scenes that happened, and like it's the most realistic, at least, you know, comic book wise, superhero movie I saw, or superhero show.
Because they're always trying to make things so soft for the kids.
Like Superman punching a person. Understand, a punch from Superman is like being like torn into pieces. Yeah,
you shouldn't be able to fight Superman.
Yeah, and
even though it's cute,
he's pulling his punches like all the time. And Spider-Man saying he stopped pulling his punches. Yes, you will die getting killed from Spider-Man's punch, but you won't like be obliterated if, you know, he just goes all out punching you. Like Superman going all out punching you, you be atoms. Just like, oh my gosh, yeah. But, you know, just those villains. When you have my favorite quote from like a show about superheroes and villains and the dynamics between the two is My Hero Academia. They said in order to be a villain, you have to have conviction. If you don't know, like, conviction is, it's like a centered goal around like your pain and all this other stuff. I'm connotating, I'm not denotating, we can look it up, but it's something like that. Like you have a reason why you're doing a bad thing or a good thing. You feel convinced. Something
that literally drives you. That's something that I could, well, even though I didn't really respect where he was coming from, because I feel like he didn't know when to stop, because he didn't know when he had won. I'm referring to Killmonger from Black Panther. He had an obvious drive that kept him going. The fact that he felt like the people that he came from killed his own father, even though they didn't even know about him. But that doesn't justify the reason that they killed his father all willy-nilly, you know? But during the whole movie, if you guys aren't aware, have not seen Black Panther somehow.
Like how?
So basically, I'm talking about Michael B. Jordan. He played the antagonist during the movie. And basically what happened was his dad is a Wakandian who was sent to America as a spy, basically. So his dad is undercover, staying in Watts, like just like in the hood where other Black people would be, type shit. And I guess he had a baby and he didn't tell Wakanda about it because that's frowned upon, and his dad was a king, you know? So yeah, so his dad had a baby. He was probably about like 8-10 years old when and his dad was telling him about Wakanda, told him all about Wakanda. He was 8 or 10 years old, and somebody from Wakanda flashed into their living room and the boy hid, and they ended up killing his father. He comes out and his dad is slain by like a Wakandan tool. He had to talk to police. He ended up going in foster care, but he already knew he had a greater purpose, but he could never understand why something so elite, someplace so magical would let Black people in America suffer the way that they did.
Like around the world.
Black people around the world, period, suffer the way they did when they had the tools, the technology to really save us, fight with us, be beside us, empower our own people so that we didn't so much feel like we came from nothing and that we were nothing when we had a city of gold being hidden in between some mountains, basically. So yeah, he grew up and he got mad and he started stealing all types of Wakandan stuff and trying to find Wakanda. He actually finds them. They was finna give him everything. The dude, like the Black Panther, literally just kept trying to talk to him. That's why Black Panther just kept getting beat up and almost died, because he was just trying to talk to him. He did not know how to communicate. Typical Black American male. Did not know how to communicate, did not know how to talk and sit down and calm down and actually hear somebody else's side of the story. He could have had half the kingdom for real. He would have been a better Black Panther, obviously, but he was just so greedy. And he did not know when he won. But the thing that was driving him was something real and was really driving him. So that's, well, I don't know. Cruella saw her mother die and some bitch had her mom necklace on. That would piss me off too.
Look, I felt for Killmonger. It was just when he killed his girlfriend, when like he took down the lineage, like the fruits, the special fruits that turned the Black Panthers into Black Panthers.
That was stupid anyway. You know, why do we need crack to have superpowers?
It was a fruit.
Fruit crack.
And then, and I know this is where the line is actually drawn. Him giving every single Black person in the world weapons of mass destruction. I know you think about like, if we all had a gun, we ain't gonna shoot each other. But you're in LA, there's Bloods and Crips. They all have guns. They still shoot at each other. You in Chicago, they throw guns in the hood. They still kill each other. So what you think gonna happen if somebody actually gave you a grenade that can take out a whole city block, a laser that can a laser that can shoot through buildings? No longer you gotta, you know, worry about like getting around like the dude's coverage. You could just.
Hey Brody, trying to hit Fifth Third.
Yeah, cool. And they was like, no, bro, you just don't have no faith in Black people. Sorry, I've been in this argument several times. But no, really? Seriously.
Go set it off.
Like, come on, y'all act like y'all never seen Boys in the Hood set it off, Belly.
No, really, we finna set it off.
Y'all act like y'all act like y'all never seen The Hate You Give.
You said through the building?
Black on black crime is a real thing.
Let me turn my black off.
Black on black crime is a real thing, but you know, we want to ignore that if we just all had guns, right? I mean, white on white crime is a real thing too. I'm not gonna act like it's not.
Okay, so there was a wave of this. Less and less fighting in the streets and more gun usage, starting with Black men, and women still fight. Now it's so many women with their CDLs and this and that. Do you watch the news? Woman shooting from car, upset about store clearance. or like just women shooting each other for the stupidest things ever. Because it's just like, wow. We shouldn't even be fighting each other, yet alone have a gun with our short female tempers. And I'm coming from one myself, and I get my PMS on. Yes, you better ask everybody in my household about my 7 days. You don't play with me. If I had a gun, you really wouldn't. So I feel like we need less guns. For sure. If anything can turn into a gunfight, whether it's just somebody hitting your grocery cart in the store.
Man, what Boondocks? You know, no, we're gonna go.
Bleak moment.
Yeah, a bleak moment. But no, that's a great episode topic. You know, gun control, no gun control, or just should we all have guns? What would happen if we all had guns, et cetera, et cetera? That's a good episode.
I think we should just teach safe gun usage at more young ages. I go to the gun show every single year, and I go up there, and it's 5-year-olds picking out their first pocket knives. You feel me? It's little, and of course, I don't have to tell you what they look like. They look like, you know, I don't have to tell you what they look like. These little 5-year-olds up there picking out their first pocket knives, 10-year-olds talking about going to the range and getting blue Rugers and dinosaur Rugers. But our kids,
Bobby Rugers, Flower Rugers,
you know, like stuff like that, butterfly knives,
22s
and then like
with their favorite
they're 8
anime
years
character.
old and they can really work it. It's us that are behind. But at the same time, there are a lot more school shooters than you know.
On that
And
note,
we've been had guns in school. Yeah, I know everybody had a gun in their locker. We didn't shoot at the school.
on that note, let's talk about the guy who, like, I'll say, you know, that there's no connection with that, but we'll say he just looks like the school shooter, Adolf Hitler.
Adolf, yeah.
Like, now, I understand,
But
you know,
that's
like,
down there why he was the villain.
Yeah.
So, backstory on Adolf Hitler. Basically, growing up, everybody thought he was Jewish. Nobody thought his dad was his real dad. Apparently, his mom was pregnant when she got married, and everybody felt like she was pregnant by some dude that she used to work with.
you know, this man dodged death several times.
Adolf?
Yeah, he died. He was in World War One. I think he almost got assassinated. All types of stuff. He dodged death. Somebody even said, like, you know what? Maybe the what is it? Holocaust supposed to happen just because he dodged death so many times. And I was just like, dang, I can't even argue with that. But still, like, you know.
But at the same time, I don't mean to like diminish the Holocaust, but I don't know. There's just so many other like mass murders of my people that don't really hold the same. I feel like if you guys want to like act like that stuff doesn't matter.
I feel you.
If when it happens to us, it just doesn't matter. Then
can we let bygones be bygones? But
Y'all had
always
group
remember
showers.
the Holocaust.
we had outside showers.
We're not even sorry for my German listeners, because we do have a German listening fan base. I do appreciate you guys and everything. It's just from a different
From a Black
perspective.
American point of view,
Yeah.
all respect to those who did survive the Holocaust, and those of you who have ancestors and you're the descendants of those who did.
Or just people that have to remember that history. Like, just, you know, history is different in different countries, and you have to remember your worst history every single year in school. Like, man. But no, like, understand reasons why we bring up Hitler. Yes, we're sorry. Reasons why I brought up Hitler, because, you know, a lot of people don't actually look up his life story anymore outside of Germany. They're just like, oh, he killed like over 100 million Jews. He didn't actually grab a gun and kill 100 million Jews. He was, you know, the puppet master of
the Martin Luther
attacks.
King of that.
It's like Martin Luther King, we'll say Nat Turner or something like that, you know? Like, he was to convince everybody, like, yeah, kill all these Jews, put them in a camp, all this other stuff. But what they don't know is that man was voted chancellor. Like, he wasn't actually full dictator. He was actually a full-on governor of Germany at the time. Chancellor, sorry.
Loved, cherished by his
adored,
people.
cherished.
Adored, parade.
They thought he was the hero.
That wasn't just propaganda.
Yeah, they thought he was the hero. They thought that he was going to create an empire for, you know, the Nazi army. Matter of fact, you know, while
Do
he
you
was
feel
chancellor,
like genetics should still be controlled?
No.
So you feel like anybody should just be allowed to control the future of the world as far as the people that walk on it?
I think we should not like be selecting a group of people and just be like demonize them.
Just because you're acknowledging the fact that these genes are hurtful, harmful, time consuming, and also just, you know, very, very expensive to take care of, that doesn't mean that you're necessarily demonizing them just by saying that, hey, reproducing is a bad idea.
That is demonizing. Like, there's like so many stories.
But here we go again, and we're gonna. Ooh, I have another villain, and everybody's gonna hate me after this one.
What? I didn't even get to like the good part.
No, go ahead. I'll type it, and I'll let you. You tell me whether or not.
I was just saying, like, you know, he was talking about, you know, the Aryan race. He wasn't even blonde hair, blue eye, and that's a recessive trait. Blonde hair, blue eyes. He was trying to make super Aryans. He was trying to make a zombie Nazi empire. A lot of things. Oh, no, not today, not this episode.
On the villain episode?
Not no. see that be if we have another episode about pandering.
But those are the villains to us, of course.
But nah, just aw.
Go watch TV, Dada.
Anyway, so while we have like just a few minutes left, I see. While we have just a few minutes of the episode left, what is so special about Hitler is the fact that he read so many books. He read books about how to become chancellor, how to become very powerful and all that. And, you know, he became very powerful. Where it comes to, like, Hitler is the bad guy is he did it all for the wrong reasons.
What were his reasons?
His reasons were, you know, a lot of people say he felt betrayed. A lot of people feel that, you know, if we would have kept him as a painter, he might not become chancellor.
Felt betrayed? When he became chancellor, did he get into the office by saying that he loved Jews?
No, when he got into the office, he killed somebody. Like, he actually just, right there, just up echelon. And now we're out of time.
Now we are out of time.
Look up Hitler's backstory. Just look up Hitler's, like, biography. It's really crazy. It's really interesting as well. And say hello to Aziz's son.
Well, hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of Am I the Villain? My name is Aziza Red, and this is Mr. McCall. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys have a blessed and wonderful evening.